You're a wanted man, Mr. Morgan.
Civilized.
How can I fight it? Listen when there's no sound. Oh, the wolves are out. Yes, the wolves are out.
In which survivors must endure and conquer the open world to outlast the Wanderers. Alone, or with friends, you will be faced with many tough decisions which will impact the world around you. Whether you choose to challenge yourself in the non-linear story or go off the beaten path, you will need to evolve your character and playstyle to survive. Before the outbreak, Eden Nadir was a thriving community, populated by families and businesses, alive with commerce and industry. It now lies in ruins, but the people of Eden Nadir have not given up hope. Your transport will need to be repaired and maintained if you intend on mowing down hordes of Wanderers. Within Eden Nadir, the undead will pose a constant threat. However, you shouldn't underestimate the living. Every type of character and creature you discover will have their own AI and will respond differently to your actions. To ensure your success, you will have to adapt your playstyle to each encounter. If violence ensues, valuable items or resources may be found on the Fallen, which can aid in your survival. Jaws of Extinction aims to make combat feel as realistic and immersive as possible. You'll be able to defend yourself unarmed, as well as using a wide range of guns and melee weapons. To avoid a kill-on-sight attitude in multiplayer, we will be incorporating an integrity system, which will affect how players and NPCs will respond to you. Those determined to prey on survivors and ransack villages will build a reputation and will be much less likely to be accepted into safe zones for recuperation or trading.
Making a demo is always a challenge, we know that by now. Our goal is to show as much diversity as possible, diversity of our gameplay features and cultural aspects as well. For these purposes, and also to introduce and explain our mechanics, we are creating a completely new quest line.
It's on the kind of job that you're offering.
My husband, Harry Evans, has disappeared.
It ties together our gameplay features as well as that Lovecraftian lore. At the same time, our concept artists and level modelers start working on the gameplay area. The quest is designed to take the player across different city districts: Rich, Poor, the Harbor Zone, and the others. At first, the plan was to put together a small separate map just for GDC, but we quickly realized we didn't want to make something we would never use in the future. So we agreed that the quest should take place in the actual city. The problem is our full map is far from finished. It already has streets and buildings, but is lacking those small details that make a city feel alive. To negate that, we decided to border off the gameplay area and spice it up a little, add points of interest, vehicles, landmarks, and of course some monoliths. So now we have a more or less finished and polished part of the map that we can use in our final product. Things are going smoothly. Obviously, different bugs and glitches keep popping up like crazy. Sometimes the hero wears two hats, sometimes a floating object stop being floaty, and don't get me started on strange collisions. But we always manage to fix them in no time. However, there is one big problem that we have struggled to sort out for months: lighting. In our previous demo, we used static light maps and baked them into the textures. That was a difficult and resource-draining process, so in our game we eventually decided to switch to dynamic lighting. It works great, yet we still cannot pinpoint the right tone and colors that we want to use in the sinking city. To solve that problem, we reach out to professional photo artists in Kyiv. They help our team find the right color scheme, inspired by the works of Caspar David Friedrich, James McNeill Whistler, Gregory Crutzen, and other prominent masters in their fields.
Your easel. Don't forget to take it when you leave. It must mean a great deal to you.
I see you're a painter. I'm quite partial to sandy beaches. This is splendid! It will be the prized piece of my sitting room.
If you haven't got lodging for the night, feel free to stay at the inn. I'll leave the upstairs room unlocked for you.
Fuck her in the Benz. Niggas say they run my town, don't know how I'm the prince of the land. All we talk about is